Well, you can't say I didn't tell you so. What is going on, guys? What is going on, 27 Squad? Welcome back into another video. I apologize if my lighting is off. I've been messing with it the whole time. It's because my natural light, the sun just keeps shining and then going back down, shining and going back. It's pissing me off, especially after this game. I'm already frustrated and the sun is already messing me up. That being said, we got to talk about this Niners game. The Giants on the road, Thursday Night Football. We're just not good in prime time. Daniel Jones, 1 of 11 in primetime games, falling to the Niners 30-12. Now, I didn't make a prediction for this game. I didn't preview the game on the channel, but I thought it was going to be around a 31-17 type of game. I didn't think the Giants had a chance to win this game. I thought we were just not ready to compete with a team like the San Francisco 49ers. Now, if you guys follow me on Twitter, if you guys see me on the Bleacher Report app as I preview the game on there, I talked about what the Giants' game plan was going in. I kind of was very spot on what the Giants were going to do in this game. So expect to see a decent amount of Daniel Bellinger, maybe Wandale if they give him enough targets or they give him enough playing time, and like a Paris Campbell. Guys like Isaiah Hodgins, who's on the outside, more possession guys, you may not see too much out of them. Guys like Darius Slayton, Jalen Hyatt, Darren Waller, I don't know if I expect a lot from them, to be honest with you, because the 49ers really love to cover deep, the deep routes, right? And what do those guys have in common? They are big play guys. Darren Waller's a big play guy. He leads NFL tight ends right now in receiving yards, and also leads them in yards per reception as well. Kind of what the 49ers do. They like to protect the deep game and kind of give a lot underneath. That's why I think you're going to see a lot of these slot receivers, a lot of these smaller guys start to get a lot more targets than the big play guys. Even Jalen Hyatt, we're going to see what happens with Jalen Hyatt as far as his production, because you know that the Giants don't use him too much on a lot of a lot of plays. I believe he was only in for like 13 offensive reps last week, but he makes a big impact. 2 receptions for 89 yards, for crying out loud. If they're playing quarters defense, they're playing cover 4, they're playing all the way back, you might not want to throw it deep. You might want to just take what the defense gives you and go ahead and attack that underneath. None of them run the ball well behind this offensive line. It's only Saquon Barkley, and I do not think the Giants are going to be successful on the run today. I think they're going to panic. I think they're going to start passing it very, very early. I don't think they're going to commit to the run because, like I said earlier in this stream, the Niners haven't allowed a 70-yard, not even 100 yards. Forget about 100 yards. Forget about triple digits. We're talking 70 yards. You guys can see there that I knew that the Giants weren't going to use Jalen Hyatt. I knew they were going to use much of Darren Waller. They had to force feed him the ball later in the game, and Darius Slayton as well. They had to force feed him later as well. But what the 49ers do is that they play a lot of quarters coverage. They keep everything in front of them. They play their coverage really far back, and they don't allow the deep pass. They don't allow the deep passing game to work on them. Instead, they allow the short stuff, and they break on the ball, make the tackle, and they are very, very good at it. And so the Giants' game plan going in was to kind of get away from the bigger play sort of guys and take the little chunky yardage that the 49ers give us. I wish we could have stuck to that and keep doing that, but there were a lot of different problems. We couldn't run the ball. We gave up on the run. That's another thing that I was on the money on, that we gave up on the run way too early. That's something I have a knock on the coaching staff for, but a lot of people are blaming the coaching staff in particular and Daniel Jones for not utilizing Jalen Hyatt. And to that, I say he was just a bad matchup. I think we have to stop lying to ourselves and thinking that Jalen Hyatt is like a regular receiver where he could run short routes. He could run intermediate routes. I mean, of course, any receiver is going to say that about themselves. They believe they're the best player. Every player thinks that they are the best player in the league. All right, Jalen Hyatt is just a limited player. He's a guy to be used downfield, and unfortunately, the 49ers' strength is downfield on defense. There was just not a chance much to utilize Jalen Hyatt and stretch the field with him. There just wasn't a chance to do that. The Niners already give up the flats. They already give up the short passes. So there wasn't really a need to stretch the field with Jalen Hyatt. So I understand why he had 9 offensive snaps from the coaching staff, and I understand why he wasn't targeted by Daniel Jones. We really also got to stop pretending that this coaching staff is just unblameable because we love Brian Dable and we love Wink and I love Brian Dable. I think he is the coach, but he's not perfect. Okay, if you look at the way that they organize, like we said, we don't know who's at the end of the day calling these plays, right? I think it was Kafka in this game. I don't think anybody was really talking about Brian Dable as he calling plays in this game. I don't know why we always get anxious, we always get worried, we always get desperate, and we give up on the run against formidable teams. All the time, we give up against the run. We ran for a touchdown with Matt Breida, and it was like 10 minutes left in the third quarter. We did not run the ball a single time on a meaningful rep after that. We just gave up on the run. We went full into passing mode. We utilized play action for what? What was the defense supposed to react? How is the defense supposed to react to that? We're not running the ball, and all we're doing is play action. Doesn't make any sense to me whatsoever. We've done that in all 3 games where we just give up on the run. And we do not utilize the running backs. I know they weren't successful running the ball, but if you see him back in like 2020, we weren't successful running the ball with Wayne Gallman, but we eventually broke one out with Wayne Gallman, because if you keep staying with the run and you don't be one-dimensional, you will get catch the defense slipping at least at one point. You may be able to break one out. And with Matt Breida's speed, he can do that. We saw a little bit again with that, and we barely utilized Matt Breida. I thought we could have used him a lot more. But that's a big problem I have. Probably the biggest problem I have with this coaching staff is giving up on the run way too early. Looking at the defensive side of the ball, we got to stop blitzing. I mean, at this point, we have to stop blitzing. We do not have the cover guys to cover when we have blitzes, because as you guys know, when you blitz, you are leaving a side open. You're leaving something open. Whether you blitz a safety, you're gonna be leaving a flat open, or you blitz a linebacker, you might be leaving a hook zone open. You blitz a corner, same deal. Every time you blitz, for every player that you blitz, that is another opportunity for the offense to dot you up on the missing spot, right? Everybody knows that. We have to stop blitzing. I think it was according to Next Gen Stats, the Giants defense blitzed Brock Purdy like a number of like 79.2% of his dropbacks. Now, that was during the game. I don't know what the end result was, but that is an ungodly amount. Another stat came out that Brock Purdy was 19 of 31 for like over 250 yards and a touchdown when he was blitzed on 33 blitzes. At what point do you say, you know what, the blitzes aren't working, let's go back in coverage and let's try to get some turnovers in coverage? We're not forcing any pressure to get the quarterback to make errant throws. That's really what Wink Martindale wants to do. That is his mindset. I want to blitz the quarterback. I want him to get pressured. I want him to feel flustered and throw the ball and make an errant throw. And we're going to be there for either a strip sack, a sack, fumble, or even an interception. We're just not getting that. Again, 0 turnovers on defense. We have 1 sack. We got 1 sack in this game. Kayvon Thibodeau got lucky. He got beat. He was taken out of the play. Brock Purdy steps up in the pocket and just ends up in Kayvon Thibodeau's hands. So our defense is a big part of the blame too. And I don't know why a lot of people are just focusing on Daniel Jones. Listen, I'm not going to sit here and defend Daniel Jones to the ends of the earth. He was not the problem, but he definitely was not the solution in this game. Daniel Jones was nothing special in this game at all. He didn't make no crazy throws. He didn't utilize his legs. There was not a lot of design runs. There just wasn't a lot of that. No explosive plays. He was very pedestrian in this game. But I don't know why we're not talking about this defense. I don't know why we're not talking about the whole team played like ass. Undisciplined football. All right, we're getting penalties. We had 6 penalties. I know some of them were bad. The Kayvon Thibodeau holding was kind of bad. It was within the 5 yards. Shouldn't have been called. But there were 2 face mask penalties. One on Jihad Ward where it was so blatant, almost ripped Christian McCaffrey's face off. And then Josh Azudu also did the same on a pass rusher as well. Don't remember who it was lined up on his side. But that two boneheaded face mask penalties that shouldn't have happened. The refs were not on our side this game. I understand that. The refs were not on our side in this game, but they are not the reason why we lost this game. We played undisciplined football. We didn't look like we were coached by the coach of the year in Brian Daboll. We don't look like that right now. We look like that in 2 quarters in this entire season, where we look like Brian Daboll, reigning coach of the year, is still in with the New York Giants. For the rest of the game, for the rest of these games, for the rest of these quarters, we're not looking like that. We're not looking like we're a greatly coached team at all. Offensive, defensively, we're just not looking like that at all. And again, nobody jumps out to you on defense. Micah McFadden had a good game. Don't get me wrong, he definitely had a good game on the stat sheet, made a couple of good plays behind the line of scrimmage, which is great. And you guys know, I love Micah McFadden. I was very proud to see him go out there and ball out and prove me right on a lot of things. However, he was another one to miss a lot of tackles. I saw like 3, maybe even 4 tackles that he missed that he could have made a play on, that he just didn't make a play on. Another thing, Bobby Okereke, the middle linebacker that we have, he is middle linebacker number 1, missing tackles. Kayvon Thibodeau had a 100% missed tackle rate according to PFF. 100%. That means he always missed a tackle when he was presented the opportunity to make a tackle. Unbelievable. Okay, Dexter Lawrence is not playing up to 2022 Dexter Lawrence right now. He's always the best player on defense, but he's gotta play better. He's got to get back to 2022 Dexter Lawrence. Leonard Williams was on and off today. He made a couple of good plays, but also missed a couple of plays. The corners, Deonte Banks, who got hurt. That's very unfortunate. Adoree Jackson got hurt, but he came back in the game, I believe. And Trey Hawkins, all 3 of those corners were not good. They had their rookie moments, those 2 rookie corners. They didn't play the run at all. They didn't look like they wanted to play the run at all. Trey Hawkins missed blatant tackles. Tay Banks was utilizing his shoulder. So was Trey Hawkins. I saw him utilizing his shoulder against George Kittle. You think you're going to knock down George Kittle with your shoulder? You got to be kidding me. He bounced right off of it and kept moving for more yardage. This team did not look prepared for the Niners, and the Niners ran all over them. I'm very surprised it was even competitive through the first 3 quarters, where, like I said, it was 17-12. I don't know why we went for it on 2. It was 17-12 in the third quarter, at the beginning of the third. Don't know why we just got desperate. We went away from the run. The best way to play against a team like the Niners, who are run heavy, who would like to burn clock, is to also burn the clock. Is to also play methodically. Is to also run the ball. That is the best formula to beat a team like that, is to play like them, okay? Always run the ball. Do not give up on the run unless you're down like over 15 points, which we weren't through the first 3 quarters of the game. And we just don't run the ball. We had 11 rushes this entire game. So, and that's including quarterback scrambles where Daniel Jones flushed out the pocket and decides to run it. And I think that happened 2 or 3 times. So that's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous that we have 11 rushes as a team. But moving on to the Niners, moving on to Seattle, I don't know what we're going to be expecting. We have a lot of rest. I don't know who's coming back. I don't know if Tay Banks will be back. Evan Neal rolled his ankle. We have a couple of more injuries as well. DJ Davidson, I believe Ashawn. No, it wasn't Ashawn. It was Raheem Nacho. He got hurt. Don't know if he came back in the game. But, man, these guys are not playing like dogs, man, at all. Xavier McKinney, where are you? Kayvon, where are you? Bobby O, where are you? Dexter looks good, but we need more of Dexter. All right, we need more of Dexter. Yeah, I'm at a loss for words. The offensive line was not good. By the way, for those of you guys that want to say the offensive line was fair enough, that it was good enough, I believe it was Shane Lemieux and Marcus McKeithen had single-digit grades in pass protection. Single digits. I don't even think they reached 5. I think one was like 3 and one was like 4.9 or something like that in pass block grades. All right? This team was not good. The offensive line was not good. All right? So, that being said, guys, that sucks. Moving on to Seattle. If we lose against Seattle, I don't know what we're going to do. And I think we are going to lose to Seattle. But that being said, guys, Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. I'm going to be on Bleacher Report at 1 p.m. today. I don't know if this video is going to be up before that, but see you guys soon.